So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
What up? What you know, Joe?
I don't know about LaTangela. This is very unique. And it sounds like your mother and father mixed some names up in that LaTangela.
So let me give it to you in 30 seconds or less. My mama had a lot of time on her hands, right? So you're a familiar guy with music. The Delphonics, la, 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 la means I love you, right? Okay. So LaTangela starts with LA, ends with LA. That's the la, la for love. Then you have Angel in there from the Angela. But then the middle name is Fay, F-A-Y, no E. And according to Webster's dictionary, that means fairy of faith. So together it's Angel of Love, Fairy of Faith. My mama had time.
I knew it was special. Nah. I knew LaTangela was special. I knew a lot of thought went into this thing right here.
You know, and I'll never find it on the mug. I'll never hear the shout out in the song. But, you know, next time I hear Angel or Angela, I'm going to be like, I think that's kind of sort of me. That's A. So it's the best I got.
I grew up with so many people. I grew up in a project building that had 20 floors, over 1,500 families, and only 20 buildings in the same block radius. So I never met a LaTangela. And I met a Latavia. I met all types. I never met that.
Well, at least I see now I'm your first and hopefully your favorite LaTangela ever.
I knew it was custom made.
That part. You know, I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I know that you have been busy and you're only getting busier. We could be here all day if I started off with these titles. So I'm going to start with the one that I got questions and need answers on. This host and executive producer of Fat Joe Talks. Man, listen,
we started in IG. My daughter was 14. She said, Dad, why don't you go on live during COVID?
Yeah.
I went on live and Michelle Obama and Kim Kardashian was in the comments because everybody was stuck home. This is around the time D-Nice is killing them. And so every day I went on like it was a TV show. That everybody from Mike Tyson, Lala, Ashanti, to Kalani, to Dr. Fauci. And so I got
we were all there.
Huh?
I said we were all there.
Yeah, and so I got contacted by STARZ, and STARZ was like, yo, I think you got a real TV show. So it's a dream come true. The audience grew with me naturally, and now they could just get the STARZ app, and now we're getting busy.
I'm loving that. And I know it debuts October 4th. It's going to be a big day for you. But, you know, just even for something stemming out of something so horrid as COVID, during that time, as an artist, you know how it is with all of the voices in our heads and the level of creativity that we need just to be who we are. And for you to listen to your daughter, to go live, to help others create a space where they can escape all the madness for a second. Now that the world is getting back to some sense of normalcy, how do you want to bring this full circle for the debut? What should we expect?
Well, all I'm about is inspiration and motivation. So I want to inspire little black and brown boys and girls to know that they can come from humble beginnings and become American icons. I did an interview with DJ Khaled where we sitting in front of his global G6 500 plane, you know, and it wasn't to show off. It was to let everyone know that you could grow up in New Orleans by humble means. And if you believe in yourself and you work hard enough, you too can own an airplane one day. You too can be a pilot of an airplane one day. And so that's what the show is all about, turning the negative to a positive, and it's all good, like my brother Big says.
I love that because, you know, far too often it's the negative news that finds its way to us first. fastest, and it's just impossible to navigate through that lane from time to time. And it's exhausting. You know, when you have so much life, and nobody want to come home and hear all that and be reminded and then see other people's turmoil. It's like, can I get some feel good somewhere in between here and there? While you're doing these interviews with a lot of the stars that we see, but you know them as friends, do you ever get that aha moment or learn something new about that person?
Every single time. So, you know, I interviewed Babyface. Babyface doesn't do interviews. The last
Yeah,
interview he did
legendary.
when Whitney Houston passed away. And so I got Babyface, and Babyface, he to me is like a human Hallmark card. It's all love. He knows what to say to every woman. And in the middle of the interview, he tells me he'd been divorced 3 times. I'm like, how does the man, the scientist of love, ever get divorced? Like, this is Babyface. And so every episode there is an aha moment, but always inspirational and positive.
Yeah. And I know that you're going to kick this off with the bang too. Tell me, who's the first one in your hot seat?
Well, you know, we coming off the grand finale of Power, which is that ghost, that whole universe. So then my show comes on right after, and the first guest will be Method Man, who's on Power.
Yeah.
Playing great attorney. And so we go with Method Man, we talk about his role in Power, and then we go into Method Man, the family man, the actor, the rapper, you know, talk about depression, family issues, how he grew up. It's a real deep one. It's a deep
Well, I'll tell you this. It sounds to me like you're about to get a little too deep and you're not holding back any bars on anybody. We got questions that need answers and they can get it too.
Not really. I'm all about positivity. So we're going to talk about everything that's relevant to you, but we're not talking about stuff just like, you know, we're talking about real issues. You know,
Yeah.
Mary, she's been in so much pain that we love her music because it's painful. Did she find love finally? Is she in a happy space? And so that's what a woman out there, you know, when I interview, say, Mary, I don't think of myself as Fat Joe. I think of myself as one of the girls in the crowd going, go Mary, go Mary. And I want to know what those girls are going to ask Mary.
Yeah.
And so that's what I ask her. I ask her what the girl in the crowd that's a number 1 fan would really like to know about Mary J. Blige.
Yeah. You know, next time you get her in that hot seat, Joe, I need you to do your girl one solid. Just make sure you put a pair of them boots to the side for me. I don't ask for much, but Meriden, hey, listen.
Exactly, they sold out in 5 minutes.
Come on, but you the plug. You know, man, come on. I'm super excited to get this going.
Sold out. It was sold out before I could even get my wife up here. And she hangs
I know,
out with my
right?
wife every day. Them things flew.
We're gonna have to find another way. We just gotta go to Mary's closet. No, but I know this episode after episode, you are gonna bring that heat.
That's for season number 2. Mary's closet. Man, I didn't think of that.
And now you have it.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to come on your platform. It's October 4th.
Definitely.
STARZ Network, right after Power. Fat Joe talks a lot. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you. And I want you to think of this as an extension of your office. So feel free to jump in the hot seat and on the tan line anytime. So you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. Thank you so much.
Love it.
You get a mic, you get a mic, you get a mic, you get a mic. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the LaTangela Show podcast. You know, it does my heart well to have this time together. And in the hot seat and on the tan line, we have them, Chief Morse, BRPD representing. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me again.
Anytime. You know, this is an extension of your office. You all have been so busy, and I have a lot of questions that need a lot of answers, and I'm plotting for more work. So is that okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, good. You know, when it comes to community outreach, you're always on the forefront for it. You and your officers, you're taking a very good approach about this, and it feels good coming from the community. But why is it so important that you and your team are out and about doing all of the things that we'll discuss today?
Yeah, so we have to be out there in the community. One, just so we can keep building the bridges and getting those gaps shorter with trust. I think that you have to be working alongside of people so that they know you and see past the uniform and the badge you're wearing. The problems that we have in the community, even crime, of course, it's police responsibility, but it's not something we can come at it by ourselves. We can't police our way out of everything, and we need the help of the community and the support of the community.
Yeah, and when you talk about gaining that trust and being there so we can trust the badge when we see the badge, so we're not intimidated or even afraid of that badge, it makes a big difference. And I've noticed even from the sidelines that you all have been attending a lot more of the schools. Tell me a little bit about the school field trips and this dance off that I saw. We'll talk about that because I might need to roll that footage.
No, I don't know if you're going to be able to get a copy of all that. Hopefully not. But, getting in the schools is important because we got to get the kids when they're younger. If we're waiting until they're adults and we're trying to start engaging, then it's too late. We're seeing the victims and our suspects getting younger and younger, so we have to reach the kids when they're younger and younger. So we got to visit a whole bunch of high schools this past week. Been a top priority of mine since I became chief this year, to engaging with the youth, having youth advisory council that we started up with high school kids, and just being out there and seeing what their issues are and how we can, like we said, just being out in the community, but it's specifically engaging the youth of our community.
I saw that press conference. I was impressed. So with the youth advisory council, tell me the purpose of that. Is it too late for other students to be able to join? Like, what does that entail?
Yeah, so the Youth Advisory Council, I have 17 high school kids. I think they represent 12 to 13 high schools, local schools here in Baton Rouge. We put it out for the whole community on social media, worked with a lot of the schools, kids that they knew, the principals, reached out to some, looking for leaders in those schools. So we got them right now. It's too late for this one, but something that I want to keep going. So we have them set for this 2024, 2025 school year. And then we'll try to reset it after the school year and hopefully get it bigger and bigger and bigger. Kind of looking at Houston does a similar thing, and they have 50 kids in their youth advisory council.
Nice.
So, if we can get it bigger and bigger, I'm all about it, because we're able to take those kids. Wednesday, I went to Scotlandville High and sat down with a group of about 50 kids, did kind of like a town hall discussion. And it was led by 2 kids on my youth advisory council that went to that school. They sat there and called on the kids to ask questions, put me in the hot seat, had me speak on some things. And so it was really, really good just to see that leadership and the mentor thing kind of happening.
And while you're talking to the kids in real time, they're asking questions, expecting some serious answers, because you can't give them fluff. They sit there like, hey man, look, we got questions. Now what you gonna talk about?
Exactly.
They need it.
They have tougher conversations than some adults want to have sometimes, because they just are all about the truth and talk to me where I'm at.
Is there anything in particular that struck you as, wow, I can't believe this is a conversation at a high school with a teenager, because this is something that is so heartfelt, or maybe you don't even think the kids are paying attention to this, but this is really impacting them day to day?
I think it was just a relief to see how engaged they wanted to be. But on the flip side, one thing that kind of just struck me is I just asked a question. Hey, how many of y'all know someone that has either been arrested or a victim of gun violence? Wow. And every hand went up, right? Mm-hmm. So they're out there and they know the people that this is affecting. So we have to engage them. It's a must.
What are some of the responsibilities for the Youth Council Advisory Board? When they sign up, they're here for a school year. What are some of the things that we're expecting from them? And what are some of the things they should expect to receive from this program? Yeah, so we're just pouring into them kind of that mentor kind of thing, giving them the leadership roles. And then we're expecting them to go out into their schools, which is their little miniature communities, and then bigger communities going out with us to help us bridge the gap. They can be like, hey, I'll spend a lot of time with the chief. He's not just some cop that you can't trust, but he's a guy, and you can talk to him. And so it's building those relationships and then kind of building more relationships based off of that. We got a group of them. They're going to be going on a trip. I think 11 or 12 of them signed up, actually going to Seattle, Washington for Cities United. What? They're going there representing us over there. And so that's awesome. A bunch of cool things we have lined up like that for them. Love to hear it. And speaking of keeping the youth engaged, I know that we have the Junior Cadet program. That's an ongoing situation. Tell me, how is it that we can get them to sign up? When you say youth, what's the age range? Because I mean, I got a couple of them I want to sign up today.
Yeah, so we have Explorer program, which is 14 to 18 years old. Kind of, I don't know, I hate to use this term, but almost like Boy Scouts or something like that, but it's police oriented. You can kind of come and see, get a peek behind the curtain. We do community events with them. They come and help out around headquarters. And then once you hit 18, we can hire you on as a cadet, which is actually a 40-hour a week paying job. We pay you a full-time salary to come and work. And again, you're working alongside detectives in a real-time crime center, getting to see what that law enforcement is all about. And then once you become 21, then you can join up into the academy and you already have all that experience and all that time going towards our actual career.
Yeah, because now when you talk to the kids and you ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And everybody wants something that they feel is relatable and obtainable. So if they're starting to get opportunities such as these, and they can really just take advantage of it, learn, maybe I like forensics, maybe I want to be a PI, maybe I want to come in and do some clerical work. Like, they don't know until they're exposed to it.
Right. It's a good way to expose them for sure. And
yeah.
A lot of people think Baton Rouge Police Department, oh, you got to be a cop. You got 950 employees. Right. And a lot of those are police officers, but we have a lot of crime scene techs. We got a lot of dispatchers, CIU, crime analysts, crime statisticians. We even have the school crossing guards, so there's a lot of ways to serve in the Baton Rouge Police Department without actually having a badge and a gun.
And of course, all of this is located on the website. How do we find this? Is it at BRPD.com?
Yeah, BRPD.com, or on social media, Facebook, our recruiting. Baton Rouge Police Recruiting has their own Facebook page. They're putting stuff on there constantly, so you can get in touch with us easy through all that.
Yes, and once we get you here, we love to chat with the chief, but he's always taking your questions and looking to come out to more speaking engagements. I'm joking.
No, you're good.
Chat with the chief. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Chat with the Chief is a program. I kind of stole it out of the mayor's playbook. I saw that she had it on her website. I thought it was an amazing idea. We had never done it on the police department. And I wanted to have kind of an open door policy and be in as many spaces and places as I could. And so just put it right there on our front page of our website, Chat with the Chief. It's a one-page form you can fill out. If you want to come to my office and speak to me one-on-one, or if you want me to come out to your group, sit down for a lunch meeting, breakfast, or just, nighttime HOA kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've done everything all across the city. Went to church in North Baton Rouge a couple of Sundays ago. So I'm just trying to be as many places as I can.
I really like that idea about the evenings and the HOAs and neighborhood safety. We have a lot that's going on that we may not pay attention to when it comes down to these stolen guns, not locking our doors, not properly placing ourselves at the highest rate of safety with the simple things that, may fall within the cracks. And next thing you know, our gun is attached to something that is like, wow. Give us some of those safety tips and maybe even some of the alarming stats that may not be top of mind for us with that.
Yeah, so I can pull some of that up for you right now. But what we do see is, of course, most of our crimes are committed with stolen weapons. And then the vast majority of those stolen guns are taken from vehicle burglaries. And overwhelming percent, somewhere like 85-90% of the vehicle burglaries where guns are stolen, it's unlocked cars. It's not somebody smashing windows and going through and rummaging. It's, they're just walking through, pulling door handles and finding these guns in these cars.
Right.
So far this year, we recovered 953 weapons.
What?
That's how many guns we've seized so far this year.
Wait, 953?
953 guns so far we've seized this year. 150,000 calls for service that our officers have done. 2,693 felony arrests. And we were talking about the kids, right? 472 of those were juveniles, juvenile arrests. So far this year, LaTangela, and this is a scary statistic, so far this year, we've arrested 14 juveniles for homicide. That's not for robberies or shooting at someone, but that's for actually killing someone.
Wow.
And you got to remember that now juvenile age has even gotten younger.
Yeah.
So it's, you're looking at 12 to 16-year-olds, that 14 of those that we've arrested for homicide so far this year.
That is so disheartening. And when you hear that, it's like, man, a baby has yet began to live, but now they're facing life sentences for taking a life. Like, this is such a vicious cycle that we can't afford to keep. And anything that we can do to do the preventive methods, we have to do this as a community because this is a lot and it hurts. You know, you're starting to see these hashtags, retweets, RIP shirts, funerals for babies way more often than not. Right. The obituary is no longer with the momos, the pawpaws, the great aunts, the great uncles. It's just filled with a bunch of classmates from middle and high school. When you see alarming stats like that come across, what does it has to have a mental toll on you when you go to a scene and you see that they're arresting a teenager for killing a teenager. Like the mental state of our police officers that go in and day out, you know, to protect and serve. How can you unsee this? How do you deal with this?
Yeah, so the officer mental wellness piece is huge. We got to take care of them for sure, because if they get to that breaking point, that's when we start seeing the excessive forces and the not good service that we want. Our officers are called upon to do a lot of things throughout a 10-hour shift, wear a lot of different hats. A lot of people don't realize it. You know, they'll go to that scene where someone is dead. They don't get a break, right? They leave that and then they go to a call for domestic disturbance, and they leave that and they're pulling somebody over for running a red light, and they leave that, then they're going to a traffic fatality, and then they leave that, and then so in their 10-hour shift, they're going from one thing to one thing to one thing. But you hit the nail right on the head when you're talking about just the lives that are destroyed, not only for the person that's being arrested, but then the person that they killed and all that family. So you got two separate families of people that are just now in this cycle that a lot of trauma, a lot of, you know, things want to repeat itself. So when we went into 4 different, we did 5 total, but we did 4 of this Bridging the Gap series, high schools last week. And we actually, part of that, we brought in some street team members, some community activists, and then even a mother who lost her son to street violence and being shot. And, you know, she was able to speak as a mother of someone who, you know, losing a son. Hey, and her main message is take 10 seconds and think. Take 10 seconds and think before you flash out, before you act out, before you grab a gun, before you make a decision that could affect not only the rest of your life, but the rest of someone else's life and all the families that are involved.
That's important. And to have those transparent moments, you know, just to let the world know that the hurt does not stop when you pull the trigger. It does not stop when that beef is over, in a sense.
Right.
You know, it's ongoing and it's exhausting in so many different ways. And I just applaud you and all of the deputies that decide to get up and do this every single day. It's not a job, it's a calling. For someone to be able to do this and say, I do it because I love it and because I love those who I protect and I want to serve, you know, and I know that we are extending that. Congratulations going out to our new graduating deputies.
Officers.
Officers.
But yeah, so we're having academy graduation coming up. We had 7 go through our basic training academy, another 5 that were lateral hires that came through other departments. So there's 12 more officers that we're going to be able to put on the streets here. But big congratulations to them. We're still currently hiring for another academy that we're going to be starting in January.
What are some of the qualifications? Because you know what, I'm turning this into the want ads.
Yeah, we want everybody. Of course, you know, basic 21 years old to be a police officer. We have a lot of stuff for the younger kids as well. 21 years old to be a police officer, high school diploma, GED, clean background. But get in touch with our recruiters. They can walk you through that whole process of taking the civil service test. They even offer it online now. So it's really super easy to get that done. You don't have to schedule anything to be able to do that. And we'll walk you through the whole thing. You know, push-ups, sit-ups, a little bit of running.
Okay.
And, the police work, like you said, it's a calling. It's something you want to have to make a difference in your community, make a difference and be able to serve people. And then it's also just a career. It's not just a job, right? We're not looking for somebody that just wants a job. We want somebody that really wants a career in helping out in public service.
And so many different ways to grow within that department. And you just got to love the work that's being done. And I know that we're working with a lot of community outreach. So when it comes down to the National Night Out Against Crime, now that's something that's big, but you also have this K9 event that's coming. So tell me about it, because when the pups come through, you already know the kids want to be there too.
Yeah, so we're super excited. We do our National Night Out Against Crime every year. And in the past, it's usually been in the summer and it's kind of hot. And
kinda. What part of Louisiana were you in where it was kind of hot?
We do it like, we've done it a couple different places, police headquarters. We did it at Cortana Mall before, just different parking lots like that. this year we're super excited. We pushed it back. We're doing it in conjunction with our national canine competition that we're hosting here in Baton Rouge. First time that we've ever hosted the national canine competition. About 100 police officers from all across the country with their canine partners, their dogs, going to be in town that week doing competition. And we're going to wrap it all up on October 10th. It's a Thursday night. We're going to do our National Night Out of Crime in the parking lot at Alex Box Stadiums, the baseball stadium at LSU. We're going to have a whole bunch of different police vehicles, booths, food, drinks, all that kind of stuff out there where you can see what police work is all about, and see everything from federal to local, sheriff's office, state. We're going to have everything out there, a lot of just meeting and hanging out. I think we're going to have some LSU baseball players out there to see the kids, sign some autographs. And then we're going to end the night with everybody going inside of Alex Box and getting to see the officers from across the country, their dogs. And we're going to put on a little show, let you see the dogs in action, see them run around, the good tricks that they can do, finding people and all the obedient stuff. And then maybe even a few skits where some people with the dogs. So it's going to be a really, really good time.
I love it. And, you know, all of this can be found on their website, BRPD.com. And for all of the businesses that's in the area, if you would like to be a sponsor, I'm going to start volunteering, folks. If you would like to be a sponsor, if you would like to be a community stakeholder that's showing up, help us show out and make this happen. And, you know, congratulations to all of those who are graduating, our new officers. We appreciate you. And for all of our junior cadets, I'm recruiting you right now, 14 to 18. You want to do something, you want to learn about how this works, you want to be an officer. Well, guess what? Now's your turn. You don't have to wait. Now is the time. And I need to get you back sooner than later. So are you coming back so we can do some more Q&As?
I would love to set up some kind of Q&A, call in or Facebook Live or something like that. I love, I'd much rather have kind of conversations with people than giving speeches. Usually when I have to go into a group, like I make my speech really short so we have a lot of Q&A time at the end because I want to hear what people want to know about.
Say less. We're going to set that up. I promise you that. Girl Scouts, wait, I was never a Girl Scout. But I support the cookies. So it automatically makes me like kind of a Girl Scout.
Enough of the cookies,
that part. I want you to keep it locked right where you have it. Be sure to log on to BRPD.com. Find out how you can do your part to help us move all of the things in the right direction. Chief Morse, you are the real MVP, and don't you dare let them tell you different, because I know you got more work to do.
I appreciate it.
So I'm going to let you chase the sun and let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.